What's good, beautiful people? This is the kitchen table. My name is Clay Hodges.
Trelani Michelle.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome. Good morning. This is Cher, aka Sheridan. What's up?
And yo, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Willie T, aka Dub T, aka Skywalker Johnson in the building. What's up?
AKA, this is the kitchen table, the show where we give you a podcast show where we give you a 3-course meal worth of food for thought, y'all. We give y'all the appetizer, the entree, the dessert, and we give you a to-go box, something for you to take home to the fam, y'all. We don't be playing around the kitchen table. So guess what? We about to pop this off with an appetizer, y'all. Oh, first of all, before we get to the appetizer, I want to welcome back Trelani.
Yes, welcome back, sis. We missed you. We missed your feminine Pisces energy.
Yes, we are reunited. We are all
felt
in the
it.
building. Yes.
I was thinking about that the other day, actually. Quick side note. As a Libra, I tend to have a lot of air and fire signs around me. And just I'm not naturally like in touch with my emotions. So I just don't naturally attract water signs necessarily per se. So it just feels good for real to be around your energy because I think that you need balance in your life. And I don't really have any water signs to balance out my life. It's just air and fire. So I really do
right?
I felt your presence gone when you weren't here. For real. And I just wanted you to know that.
Mm-hmm. We definitely.
And I ain't seen Willie in forever because before I was gone, he was gone. So I ain't seen Willie in years.
No, right?
I know, right?
It was good. The gang all back. What's up?
Yes,
Yeah.
gang.
We out here, y'all. But for the appetizer, what's going on in the world, y'all?
Well,
today is Hot Girl Meg, aka Tina Snow, aka Meg the Stallion, aka just Meg. It's her motherfucking birthday today. So shout out to Meg the Stallion.
Yes.
Shout out.
Girl. Happy birthday. Y'all know she's only 26.
Oh, I love it.
She's 26 years old. And
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I got an honest moment. Like when she first dropped, I didn't care for her. Like I was like, the industry got enough sex kittens. Like we don't need another one. But some people grow on you for different reasons. Like, you know, they just radio to play it over and over and over to where you're damn near hypnotized and you like it. But I didn't start liking her for that reason. I really gave her a fair chance. I downloaded one of her mixtapes or something like that. And I was like, oh, she actually really fucking talented. I love her fucking flow. And then when that album dropped, I was like, I like that. That song Movie is my shit. And then I was like, you know what? Pimp C would be like really hella fucking proud of Meg the Stallion.
Yes. I got on her on that Tina Snow.
Right.
Tina Snow. Big old freak. I was like, boy, she hard, boy.
Bitch got bars, but I can agree with you, Trelani, because I have felt the same way. Like, not Meg, like I loved her coming out the gate, but like City Girls, like I did not really fuck with City Girls at first. Because same thing, I was like, I don't need another sex symbol woman. Like, but then I started listening to them, and I'm like, damn, they really talented, and I feel like
I ain't got there yet with them.
Yeah.
It took me a minute though. It took me a minute, but now I'm there. And I feel like a lot of these women rappers today, it's like, they exude sexuality, but they're doing it on their terms. Like, I'm going to be sexy when I want, and I own this shit. And that's what I don't know. That's what I love about them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, she's about to get into a new deal now too. She would
good. She deserve it.
Because you know she signed that real bad deal. She only got like a couple grand.
Wow.
And that was it. She was doing all that work, had #1 songs.
But we got to take full responsibility because she was grown at the end of the day. Because we take back to Dave Chappelle and that deal we signed and we talked about him. She was grown. She was grown.
Exactly. She was.
Oh, man. She was. And speaking of my boy, Dave, congrats, Dave Chappelle. He just dropped a special and he was just telling us, thank you, fans, because you guys did the motherfucking thing. Because of us boycotting the Chappelle show, he was able to work something out with Viacom and Comedy Central. He was able to get his license back. He was able to get his name back. And the Dave Chappelle show is back on Netflix. And I think they might be cooking up something new. I don't know. I don't know, man. Congrats, Dave.
Probably.
Damn, okay, Dave.
Did y'all watch that redemption thing clip?
Oh yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure
I need to
did.
go
The
back and watch
redemption.
it
That's
in
what I'm talking
full.
about.
Right.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
didn't see it.
Redemption song.
I
Yeah.
sent it to you on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh no, boo, I'm not on Instagram right now.
It's on
Oh.
YouTube too.
There we go.
Oh, good shit.
Yes. Yes, man. So that's beautiful, man. Man, happy birthday, Meg. Congrats, Dave. It's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful little appetizer to get it started, y'all. Y'all ready to jump into this entree? Because I think we might be going in there deep today.
In there deep.
So this entree, we talking about Black History Month. Do we need it? Do we still need a Black History Month in today's time? I want to open the floor up and go around the table to get y'all thoughts. What do y'all think about it?
I think prior to I actually wasn't a big fan of it prior to this particular month. This month, so y'all know I have
Oh, let
cracked
me ask
teeth.
before you go into it.
Yeah, go
Why
ahead.
weren't you a fan before now?
Because I kind of felt like it needs to be all year. It don't need to be a 1 month thing. Like it don't narrow us down, and then in the shortest month of the year, don't squish us down like that. Like, let's talk about this all year, the same way American history, which is really white history. Like if that's all year, why we just have a corner of it? And I still feel that way very much so too. But this particular month's on cracked teeth, I just decided to really narrow in, and I was gonna do something every single day to bring out something that's not known, or even if it's well known, just to go deeper in it. And I realized the feedback from it showed me that maybe we do still need this, because even if I look back, so we kind of talk about how a lot of times Black history is narrowed down and we talk about the same people over and over. Harriet Tubman, MLK. I saw this, I should have pulled it up. It was this really good meme about, and I have to find it. But I'm gonna keep talking though. And but American history do that too. We talk about, what was his name? Paul Revere. It's like, it's the same, it's the same names Columbus. In that way too. Columbus. And so I was like, I think sometimes if it just spread out, we don't pay as much attention to it no more. I think we do need all eyes on it. In the way that and I seen somebody saying y'all, we talk about supporting Black businesses, make sure we doing that in February too. I don't know, it's just like a chance to all huddle. It's like time out real quick. Let's huddle up. Let's get our shit back together. Let's think about our game plan. Let's remind ourselves why we the shit. We got this big old billboard in New Orleans right now that says if you Black, then you rich and you got buku power. They only put that up for Black History Month, but I fucking love it. Every time I pass that billboard, it's like I get chills. And it's it is necessary. It is necessary.
The funny part about that though is how up in arms will we be if that billboard said white power, you got the power, you're the shit.
And that's what I actually talked to my kids about that recently, because we always the oppressor cannot do that, and it's not the same. So it's almost so.
You explain that to a child though, we as adults understand that. But if I was a child in my simple mind, I might be like, well, why don't they
right? So I try to explain it as best as I can, as what happened, what did white people historically do to Black people? What have men historically done to women? What have adults historically done to children? It's that power dynamic. And so, and as a result, the one who holds the power, is just not fair for you to do that. The one who was stripped of their power, we need a moment. We need a fucking moment.
A moment of empowerment.
We need to straighten our spine back up. We got to remember real quick. Yeah.
Well, that's what
if the power that be still has that moment, then it's never going to be level. You still know. You hold on for a second.
That's what the Black Power movement of the 60s was about. It was about when they would say Black, they would say all these affirmations because they had to affirm themselves and take that back. And like you said, the oppressor can't do that because he's the oppressor. He never lost his power.
You never lost it, right?
And it's I don't know if y'all watched Judas. And
yes, seen it last night.
Oh, you watched it?
Talk to you guys about that actually for the appetizer. I forgot about it. I'm so glad you brought it back up.
No spoilers. I ain't seen it yet.
Girl. Okay, so your homework is you have to watch it so we can talk about it next.
Somebody, I'm supposed to watch it with somebody, so we waiting on each other.
Okay.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody give me a password.
I got you, sis.
For sure. Yeah, because Lord, I want to talk about it. We're gonna wait just for you.
Well, hold on, just for you.
I can take my headphones out if y'all want to wait.
Absolutely not. We'll wait for you.
But what was the point you was making though, Willie?
Well, I mean, I was just adding to the fact that it's Black History Month, such a powerful movie about such a powerful movement just dropped solely because it's Black History Month. I guess all eyes are going to be on it, but it was nice to see an honest portrayal of that whole situation. Is because like people say like, oh, why is it Black Power? Why do we have to remind ourselves? Blah blah blah. Because we literally have a scenario like Fred Hampton, and he's doing everything he can to make the world a better place, not just for Black people. His emphasis and focus was on Black people, but he was bringing everybody together. And the powers that be didn't like that. So in the movie, they do a good job of, showcasing that dynamic between, I guess, people plotting on him and him just living his life as intended. And it's really cool to see, because that's the conversation that we never have ever in this country. Is we can make a million movies about the Black plight and about white oppression, and yet we never have any like real world like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, here's y'all's portion of the society y'all built. And it's like, why can we constantly see the trauma and never see any positive outcome from that? And when
without a white savior too.
Exactly. And when there is someone doing that, they always get removed or get knocked off of their pedestal. Why? That just bothers me a little bit. And
well, in order for America to make up for their fuck up, they have to admit they fucked up. In order to make amends for your mistake, you have to admit you made a mistake. And America, to this day, doesn't want to admit. Like
they give you a day. That's their apology. That's their admission. They be like, "All right, MLK Day.
MLK Day.
There we go.
We're done. 28 days, the shortest month of the year. But they're never actually gonna, like Germany did, where they sat down and was like, "We did this. This shit is fucked up. Like, here are your reparations." Like, they faced it head on. Yeah. America hasn't, and I hope that they do for your kids, Trelani, and our future kids, and all the kids. But I don't know. I don't know if they ever will.
It's messed up to me too, because if you look at the history of this country, everybody's gotten reparations. Literally, a million different native tribes got reparations. Jews got reparations for whatever. Japanese people got reparations for all the stuff that happened to them, which was only a very small amount of time. But everyone got bread. Everyone got cake, and that allowed them to put themselves in positions of power. That's why now all Asians have businesses and Black folks don't, because we're still looking for the money that we're rightly entitled to and owed, yet all the loans are going to Chun Li and Soon Jin. So it's like, where can we meet in the middle with this? I really don't think that there is a way to meet in the middle. And I really think that it might be an unpopular opinion, but maybe we do need to go back to segregation. And not as a people, because I do enjoy being around different cultures, but just as a business and operational standpoint.
Well, that is one thing that I don't think that they considered when they wanted to end segregation. Maybe they did consider, or maybe they just didn't think that it would become a problem.
No, segregation ended because they realized that, our money is green too.
Right.
That was really the only reason.
And then
But
seeing
But
how
that's what I'm
powerful
saying.
we were
All I'm saying is
becoming.
I don't think Black people, when we push for that, I don't think we realize the economic wealth and economic power we would lose once we did that.
You sure?
Well,
What you mean by that? Because I feel like we might gain it. Because like we spend more money, and if we spending with ourselves, I just imagine like economically, Black people like gaining more power.
Well, no, I mean, like, okay,
What you
Black
mean?
businesses, for instance, how we're
Mm-hmm.
constantly saying support Black businesses. Black people
Right.
don't have an economy as a whole. Like, yeah, there are a couple of Black people who did well and had money, but as far as like a collective, like Black economy, we don't have that shit right now. That's why we
everybody has
constantly have to
money.
go to Walmart, even though Walmart will piss us off. It's like, well, we don't have a Walmart in the Black community, so now I got to go spend my money at Walmart. And a lot of other cultures, they have been able to build an economy and generational wealth for their culture.
So we're saying the same thing. We're just
Right.
coming from two different standpoints. My point is that yes, we do need that.
Yeah.
We do need to be able to go to Wayne's Mart or whatever the hell and pick up whatever, and that when you go in there, there's going to be Black products for Black people living their Black lives, and it's not going to be locked up in a glass case. So I do believe that it is high time for that, and I think our generation, our parents' generation, they're just tired. They're beat down. Their parents are beat down, and they're happy to just survive and make it out and live a normal life. But we, as an enlightened and awakened generation, I feel like we understand the importance of, which goes back to our previous episode talking about stocks and building wealth like that. We understand that we cannot rely on someone else to give it to us. We have to generate it on our own, and we'll use the playing field as it's given to us because that's all we can do. But the issue remains is when we find a way to succeed in lieu of the drama, there's always something that comes up to knock it back down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I don't know, what's the solution? I mean, what would y'all suggest? Me personally, I would just suggest that maybe segregation is a little extreme.
Well, that's what I was about to say. That's what you suggested, going back into segregation.
Yeah.
But
that would Black Wall Street. We were
fix the
segregated
problem.
as fuck, and now we're not, and all of our money, like you said, is going to Walmart instead of
Right.
it being forced to go to fellow Black people.
Black people, yeah.
Right.
But that was the beauty of the time. It's like we had our own shit because we had to, but it was beautiful because we had our own shit. We had ownership on a huge scale on so many cities across America because cities were segregated. It was like a Black town. This is your Black side of town, so you go into your Black business.
Right.
And even like I talked to my mom and she's like, we would do like at certain stores we would go to, it's like you had a credit account. Like now how we have credit cards, it was like a credit account that you just pay off every month. And I'm like, wow, that is just
right. See, that was the beauty. That was the beauty of segregation. And I believe that's why they desegregated, because we were gaining so much economic power with supporting each other, because we were forced to work and shop with each other. It's like we were beating them at their own game, and they couldn't have that happen. And the thing about Black Wall Street, one thing that I learned is that there were Black Wall Streets all throughout the United States. We even had one in Savannah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of predominantly Black neighborhoods had Black businesses right there, Black grocery stores, gas stations, banks, funeral homes, all of that. Like we had.
What you mean when you say every city had a Black Wall Street.
Yeah, every city did. And I didn't know that. And I went on this tour. Shout out to Jamal Torre, Mr. Jamal. He got this tour called Day Clean Tour, and he drive you downtown Savannah, and he give you the Black African perspective of Savannah history. Wow. And he talks about that. He talks about how we had our own Black Wall Street and how they had Black Wall Streets all throughout the United States. So it wasn't just in Tulsa. Like it was everywhere. You know, I think they just used Tulsa as an example. And then with everybody else, they just gentrified it, you know?
It's just metaphorically burning it down.
Right, you know. So yeah, so like we were doing that, but like what Willie was saying, like I think that our generation is getting back into that, you know, not that we're segregated, but we're understanding the importance of supporting each other and building economic wealth within our community.
That's a
And
better way to put it.
yeah, yeah,
Building
you know,
economic wealth within our community. I love that.
yeah,
Quote that. Write that down.
that's what we're doing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And back into the topic at hand, you know, Black History Month, right? The way I feel about it, so growing up, I didn't really think too deeply about it, but I appreciated it growing up because it gave me an opportunity to learn about people that look like me. It wasn't until I grew up and got older that I realized it was more people who had to contribute to the history of Black people than what they told us about. I was a little pissed about that because I was like, damn, we got all of these great people who did all of these great things, and you only tell us about 3 people for a whole month. You know, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
18
But
years at that.
right, for 18 years.
Yeah, damn near 20 years to give us more than just these top 3 people.
Right.
But every year we talking about Harriet Tubman, and she was great. And we're 20 right now.
But every place had its own Harriet too. Every place had its own Mountain, Martin, Rosa, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you and you talked about that and on the crack tea. I forgot the guy name. What was the guy name that you talked about in crack tea?
Which one did what? That did what?
He was like leading like marches and stuff like that. And
Benjamin Van Clark and
Benjamin Van Clark, yeah. So yeah, it was leaders in every city, every place, you know. And it's just crazy. Like that's all. And I get it. You can't talk about everybody, but I just feel like maybe diversifying a little bit. And I ran across an article this morning, which is crazy. We talking about this. It was talking about how like schools are starting to lose accreditation if they're only talking about, you know, they're still teaching the one-sided history from 1619. And I thought that was interesting because I do feel like the tide is changing and people are wanting more from our education system. But on the flip side of that, I do feel like it's our job to teach and inform us about us, you know. Like we can't really expect too much from the oppressor. They want to tell us their history and how great they were and all of this, but it's like we gotta empower ourselves too at the same time. You know, and teach our youngins about the different historical role models in Black history. And I do appreciate the fact that there are a lot of movies being made now too. So that makes the learning process a lot easier too.
And documentaries.
And documentaries as well. So I do appreciate that. And I do feel like, you know, so essentially it's kind of dope. Like, you know how we have holidays. So we got Christmas and Valentine's Day and Halloween, but essentially we got a whole month of a holiday to celebrate Black people. And I feel like it shouldn't just start and end there. Of course, we should celebrate ourselves every single month and every single day of the year. But, you know, but since they want to give us a month or whatever, I feel like we should definitely do the most for this month. We should do the damn most.
I want to also add another thing too, because it's something I just been recently studying because I just finished ghostwriting a book for an 81-year-old brother. He's originally from Charleston, moved to Harlem, but he joined the Nation of Islam. I knew about the Nation to an extent.
Right.
Yeah.
Studying it deeper, I was like, yo, the Nation was doing everything that we talking about doing today. Yeah, right. They weren't like in the beginning before, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, before he passed away, you know, they were all about Black economics. It was it was less religious than more so Black economics. And so the Nation itself owned in various cities, they own like over like 80 something businesses in all these different cities. You did not go to any other fast food restaurants. You went to the Nation's fast food restaurants. They had their own restaurants, their own clothing stores, their own record stores, all their own bakeries, like factories, even like manufacturing, you know, factories. They had all of their own stuff, and you went there. You did not take your kids to public school because the Nation built their own schools. Wow. So if we're complaining about like the the schools ain't teaching enough, they ain't doing enough. We're putting too much energy into complaining and not to what can we just think more solution oriented. All right, then who are the educators in our community? How much can we collectively pool together to pay this sister or this brother or these sisters and brothers to educate our kids so we can make sure that they are getting the knowledge that we want to do? Every year we float that same meme through social media that say what kids need to learn before they graduate, but they need to learn taxes, they need to learn money management, they need to learn their own history, but we keep doing the same shit, but we keep putting our kids into school, send them to school, expecting them to get these grades, but we're not doing anything different. So we have to realize that's insanity after a while. If you know something is broken, but we're not fixing it, like we have to think more solution oriented and on a local level, on a small. So what can I do? What can my household do? What can me and my family do? Or what can me and my group of friends do? What can we do to fix these problems that we notice that are that are affecting me and my kids and our elders? What can we do? Like, we can always do something other than, because complaining is the first step. I ain't knocking complaining. That's the first step, because that's acknowledging that there is a problem, but then you have to move towards a solution versus just depending on a white savior. And usually that's the government. Well, the government need to do this, the school system need to change this. I ain't even knocking saying that we need to do that. That's called reform. We do need reform, but revolution is saying, we're taking it and we're going to do our own. So we need both. We need reformation, but we definitely need radical. We need revolution. We need uprooting that shit and doing something drastically, totally different while studying who's already done it before, what went wrong. So how did the FBI infiltrate the Black Panthers and the Nation of Islam? How did they deteriorate, and how can we make sure that doesn't happen to us again?
Right. And to me, the revolution and reformation are synonymous. They're the same thing to me, because you can't have because you can't have a revolution without a reformation. That is the revolution is the reformation, because now we're at the point where it's instead of vote or die, it's act or die, So you're either gonna sit around and wait for the people in power to give you power, which is never gonna happen in the history of power.
That's reform, though. That's what reform is.
Yeah. So that's and I understand what you're saying. Like, let's change systems that are in place, but it has to be a radical movement in order for that to take place. You can't just nicely go in there. That's why, as crazy as the rednecks in Washington, D.C. were, they kind of had the right ideas. Like, if you want to change things, these people are just sitting up in this building making life-altering decisions at no cost to them, and they're just chilling. So, yeah, you need to go in there and have a one-on-one conversation with some folks, if you know what I mean.
But we know our Black ass can't go in there like that for no one-on-one conversation.
But that's the thing, yeah, we can't do that.
Exactly. That's white privilege. But I mean, but we have privileges within our own community too, and I think everybody used their privilege in a way to make sense. Like Booker T. Washington back in the day, like he had the privilege of, he was educated, he was able to go in the White House, and they would listen to him to an extent. They were willing to sit down and listen to him and try to make deals with him. W. Du Bois was another one. So they were they had privilege for their time. So we had people too who had privilege, and able to get in there and get some conversations going. But so while y'all on that line, we on this line, and then we got some people over here and they working on this end, and we building our own schools and our community gardens and shit over here. They in the White House trying to get shit changed, and they over here, it's all. And I think that's what One Night in Miami basically was saying too. Like, like we all doing something. That we all got a lane, but all these lanes important though.
All these lanes important, and I think all of these lanes should be organized. I really don't like when people try to tear other people's lanes down because it's different and it's not what they're doing. It's because every single part of it is important, and
including pussy popping like Megan Stallion.
Exactly, including pussy popping like
exactly.
Megan Stallion. It's all important. It's all important.
So, what y'all think about WAP then? Since Trelani, you weren't here for the sexualization
On the
of
sex
children
combo.
topic, but how do you feel like that contributes? Just to get your quick opinion on that, how do you think that contributes to where we are today?
I think it was I didn't see the issue with it at all. I was like, are you crazy? Like, why I really didn't understand why it was such a big deal. It was a glorification of pussy. That's what's loved about pussy. I mean, if we wanted to get technical, that's what you want about, and they were just glorifying what's already been glorified since forever in rap music. So I mean, and it was just a woman saying, I got it, and as a matter of fact, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. It can do this, this, and this, and it can make you do this and this and this. I had no issue with that. I don't even think it contributed. I think it restated. If anything, it wasn't a new topic. It wasn't a new, addition to the table. They just was restatement. What's already always been said forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, I mean, no one made a song called "Dry Ass Pussy."
I think the way they contributed,
Throw Babies is wild though, because like, damn,
that's a wild one.
This is where we are now.
That's a video kind of fire about our music too.
Man, this song came out in 1990, 1980. They might have not let them walk out the jailhouse.
I don't agree, man. We had that song. It was when I was in school. This would have been 99, 2000. They were talking about like, when they ask you why your face so clear, just tell them all of Olay. It's like, no, this man was talking about splashing your fucking face. We slop on my knob. Nigga, that was 97, 96.
Even
or Trina, I got an ass so big. Like
Trina was wanting niggas to eat her with her period on. Like, what are we talking about?
She was the original hot
girl. This shit ain't new. This shit is not. We just getting older, and we're like, whoa, a minute, that's out of hand.
I know, right?
Man,
kids now like, whoa, that's inappropriate.
Man, we've been out of pocket though since history. What do you think about Boosie called it "Stand Up in It"? And he made this song "Stand Up in It." Boy, what he was talking about, standing up in what?
Talking about
He was talking about being a side chick, stealing bitches, man, everything.
All of that.
Same thing, different times.
And then have y'all heard that clip? It's like, I don't even know what it is or who it is, but it's this clip when people talk about how nasty music is today, and they post a clip and they're like, this is the ancestors. And it's a clip from the 1920s of this black woman saying, talking about some my pussy. Like,
I always, when I hear that clip, I don't know who it is. I always imagine like a juke joint, and that's what they were calling like devil music and shit. I was like, I would have been all up in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
In the
like
back smoking a reefer, as they would say. Smoking
the reefers.
I feel like she would have been on tour with like Rudy Ray Moore or somebody like that, just doing inappropriate stand-up. Everyone likes something that makes them say, ooh.
As far as WAP, I couldn't agree with Trell anymore. I would agree even more and say that honestly, that song was good. It contributed because it empowered Black women. Like, one thing that I love about Meg is she just boosts my confidence. And Cardians, like these rappers, they just help Black women to feel empowered in a world that's tearing us down and doesn't give a fuck about Black women,
Mm-hmm. And not letting us be diverse, like acting like everybody got to be Michelle Obama.
Absolutely.
I can't have no more sides to me, and I can't express all my sides.
Yeah, I think it is. I think a lot of people aren't comfortable with embracing, I guess, I don't want to say their dark side, but we're all made up of light, dark, high, and low. You know what I'm saying? The different aspects and complexities that make us up. Not to say that one is better than the other, but sometimes people just tend to focus on this only and try to push this only. But it's like, brother, keep it G, you're this too. Stop trying to run away from it and make other people feel bad for embracing themselves fully.
Exactly.
It's like come back down to earth. Come back down to earth.
About Tupac too.
Besides, everyone knows Michelle Obama is listening to WAP. So
she loves WAP. She putting it on.
I know. Barry's like, Michelle, can you bring that WAP in here, please?
And she bring that motherfucker in there too.
Yes,
slow down, Barack.
Hey, you already know.
Hey, baby.
You want to break the internet? Let's get that on tape. Wow, that'd be crazy.
That's funny, bro.
Hey, y'all wild, boy. Y'all wild.
Yes.
Bro, y'all wow, man. We good on this. We good on this entree, man. Is there anything else y'all want to say on it?
Oh, I didn't say what I thought about it.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheridan. Go ahead. My bad.
It's cool. It's cool. We got sidetracked.
Yeah, we did.
I would say I think Black. So I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. So I have a coworker. She is not Black. She is Hispanic, but she's not Afro Latino. She's just Hispanic. But her son is Black. And so she was telling me about his school. The child is going to school, and this month, this month is the Chinese New Year. So this month they're teaching the kids Chinese history and then typical American history, which is white history, but no Black history at all during Black History Month. Wow. And this child is 11 years old, okay?
And so, what city is this again?
This is in Los Angeles. I'm not going to say where, but it is a suburb in Los Angeles where it is predominantly white and Asian, like not many Black people. And this kid is half Black, so it's like he doesn't have any Black people around in this school. So this child, he's very outspoken as that generation is. He asked his teacher straight up, like, hey, like it's Black History Month. Why aren't we doing any Black history projects? Why aren't we learning any Black history this month? And she's like, oh, you can go home and learn about Black history.
What?
Wow.
That's what she told this child. And
no.
I had to sit with that for days. I was pissed when my coworker came to me as a Black woman, and she was like, what do I do, Cher? Like, my son is a Black child, but there are no Black children in this school. She was like, of course I have to write an email. She was like, but I'm pissed. She was like, she was basically asking me how to be nice nasty to this teacher.
For what? I mean, what's the end goal? Like, even with the being nice, nasty. I mean, for what? I mean, it gets to a point you be like, energy is important. Well, you just spilling energy on somebody who ain't about to change just because you wrote this letter or you was as nice, nasty, or as nice or as nasty as you wanted to be. It ain't gonna pull your child out.
I told her to threaten them with the media because this is LA and people don't want to be on the news.
Why would you, even if the media got involved and they was like, okay, our bad, we fucked up, we gonna change. Do you want that person now teaching your child Black history?
That's true, but also she's not a Black woman. So for her, it was more of a conflicted, like, obviously I know this is wrong, but I don't know what to do. And I was just like, wow, I mean, I guess in my opinion, when you're that young, Black History Month is more important because you're learning the basics of like I can think about all the different people that I learned about during Black History Month as a child. And the older you get, you realize I just curated for certain people like we were talking about, and you don't learn more than those 10 names. But at the same time, for me, I thought that was important. And I just felt bad. So I'm like, damn, this Black child in this school with no other Black people around. And, what are you to, just like you said, Trelani, what are you to do? Because even if she does send the email or confront them, it's like, where this school stands. Where these people stand now.
Yeah. And the fact that she was so nonchalant about it is the part that I don't like. Because
that was a scary part. That's what.
If you're going to make this Black child sit up here and learn Chinese shit that he's never going to need to know, it's never going to pertain to his life. Yeah, he needs to be well versed like all the other kids need to learn about Black history and Chinese history. But this boy asked you a very direct question. Why are we not learning any Black history on Black History Month? You need to give him a more informed answer than that. Not just say, oh, well, go learn it at home. Because he obviously is learning something because he had the wherewithal to ask you, the teacher, why are you not teaching him this? So I don't like when people disrespect little kids because they grow.
Like it made me sick.
It made me never forget that.
Right. Remember when you said that you had pulled your son out of school because our school system makes little Black boys feel like they're either dumb or bad? My mind went back to that and I was like, this poor child in this school, no one that looks like him. I mean, I don't know what he looks like, but obviously he knows that he's Black, but just like you said, Willie, it was sick. I was like, this is sick as fuck. This child literally asked you this and this was what you said and you felt justified enough to say that?
Oh, no.
Well, I've had so many instances where teachers said sideways things to me or people in school around children said sideways things to me. And I'm like, you're so lucky you said this to me when I was a child and not now because the reaction would have been a whole lot different. a whole lot different.
And I
guess
actually did give the different reaction as a child. I used to curse them out. And I'm not saying that like to glorify that now, but you know, even to go back to then, you come home, you ain't got no backup. Like I can't tell my people, well, this is what she said to me. They don't care. As a lot of kids, you ain't got no support. Like you ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Either you shut up and you take it and you grow up and you go through this whole thing where you have trouble with authority figures. You have this challenge, this this thing in you, or you fortunately, I was still rebelling. Even then, I didn't mind speaking up and speaking out against it. But that part bothered me, just never having no support. Just felt like nobody believed me. It was like me. I really felt like as a kid, me against the world, which made me act out even more.
And you're really you're being gaslighted. And as a child, you don't understand that. It's like, okay, my plight isn't important to anybody. And it's weird because we expect those same kids to turn into responsible adults, and that's just not what they know. And it's not their fault, because there has to be someone giving true guidance to the kids.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. And absolutely. I don't know.
So that's
y'all done made me mad up in here.
My mama,
dessert time.
My mama put me out of a school because a white teacher, talking sideways and being sideways about me.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
did
man.
The teacher talk to you or to your mom? Like, who did she talk sideways to?
Both me and my mama. So like my teacher used to, she tried to say it was something wrong with me because I was real, particular. Like, for example, when I would get the crayons, when we playing and drawing stuff, when I put them back, I would put the crayons back how I found them, exactly color by color. Wow. And she was trying to say it was something wrong with me because of that, and because I would take my time doing it. And she was like trying to tell my mom and dad, and she might want to do this and put me on this. And my mom was like, no, ain't nothing wrong with my son. Matter of fact, I'm taking both of my children out of the school. It was Bartow Elementary. Yep.
Shout out
that. I love that when a parent stands up and stands up for their child.
What? How you pronounce your mom's name? Chiffon?
Chiffon.
Shout out to Miss Chiffon.
Yes.
Shout out.
You feel me? So like,
she said, hell no.
You feel me? I definitely feel like, the parent you were talking to, she definitely should put them on blast, put their ass on the news. I was going to ask
your advice. What do you guys think she should do?
Yeah, she should put their ass on the news, because I feel like that they would want to talk about that and cover that. Like, this school isn't teaching Black History Month. Then when somebody asks about it, this is the response that they get. Put them on blast and then pull her kids
and then
out
pull
of
her son
school.
out. I think that would be the perfect response. And write the fucking email. Write the email, tell the news, and then pull them out.
Yes.
Yep. And threaten the school district with a lawsuit.
Yes, that's it. This is LA. You can sue everybody here.
Ooh, yeah, that's it. That's it right there, babe. Please keep us updated on that story, because I want to know what happens with that.
I told her too. I was like, listen, I went home, told all my Black people, everybody's outraged. I was like, I'm probably going to talk about it on my podcast because we all are outraged. Like, this is fucked up.
That is.
That's ridiculous, especially considering the fact that we all just found out that they're actually punishing schools and removing their funding if they teach Black history, specifically like the 1619 Project, talking about slavery and stuff. Because since they can't lie and call them indentured servants anymore, they're just not going to say anything.
Not going to cover it.
And that's ridiculous, because once again, y'all want to make all the movies, make all the money, and basically confess your bullshit. But then
because it's art
on screen, it doesn't get no more. Look, get me off this podcast. Y'all got me hot.
Listen, y'all, my blood is boiling right now.
Y'all got me hot up in here, yo. Y'all got me hot. I'm about to be radical as fuck.
Listen, did y'all hear about I don't know what school it is, but another school district, they basically said that their parents could opt out of their kids learning about Black history.
Yes.
I said, that's funny, considering every day of my goddamn life and every other Black person life, we couldn't opt out of learning U.S. history, which is essentially white history. Like,
I know, right? I had to sit there and learn about George Washington as if he didn't hate my guts. Like, come on.
Yeah, all the lies. We had to learn all that shit, and we were graded on it. And if you didn't do what you needed to do, then you were bad. All this stuff. So I don't know. I just thought it was
Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Like they tout him as the great black savior, but that was just a political move to destabilize
He literally
the South.
said, if I didn't have to free the slaves to, reunite the Union, I would not have.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And most people don't know that. So it's like,
I remember when I learned that. It literally, it is so funny. I feel like every time you learn something you were taught for so long was a lie, it almost shatters your reality. Like,
It
wow,
should.
I really thought that was true. And
like what else is fake as hell?
exactly.
Absolutely, man. And that's why I tell you, like when I got older and I learned, a lot of this Black history, a lot of even American history and the correlation between Black history, I was outraged, man. I was outraged. I wish that they taught us. I wish that they taught us more. My mom, and my pop did they they did the best they could teaching me about it. We had Black art everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They tell me about this person, that person. They did their due diligence. But for the people that's teaching us, I just wish they did a little better, because me growing up, I didn't even fathom, I didn't even think of the idea that I can be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a scientist, or entrepreneur, because of people they were teaching us. Though a lot of them were people in those avenues, they didn't talk about that aspect of them. They just said, "Oh, this person was great, and they make stuff out of peanuts, and this, she made hair stuff for people." But they ain't tell us like she was an entrepreneur. She did this. She built this. You know what I'm saying? Like she was making her money. They ain't really emphasize those points to the point where we could feel like we can do that too. And
I think too, going back to our conversation we were having about teaching at home, like for me, like even though I was going through the same bullshit in the school system that you're speaking of, for me at home, I was learning about the Black history of my family. Like, well, your family member did this, so you can do it. And it was always like, for me, it was like seeing Black people around me that I knew personally or knew through someone else personally. That made me think like, wow, like you could really do this shit.
Now I feel that, but for me, I can't really say I had too many successful people like in my family like that. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and them taught us about like people, who did certain things or whatnot. But around me, the only success I knew, the only way that I felt like I could make it out is being a rapper or a basketball player. And I ain't even just trying to be cliche. I'm just being completely honest, because that was the idea of success. That's all that I see.
Success in my family was my uncle who owned a car dealership, but that was funny because he sold dope back in the day and made up so much money, went to prison, came home, used that money and started. That was my success story. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
What about you, Willie? Did you see success around you?
No, the most success that I saw growing up, especially coming from a Southern family, was my family members, including my dad, that left the small town that they're from and joined the military to expand their horizons and see the world. Right. And I guess that's why I am how I am right now today, because of that decision. Because I look at my cousins and I'm like, damn, I could have been just like y'all. Right. Not saying that there's anything wrong with them, because I love them all, but a lot of them don't have that vision, that drive. And a lot of them are just like, I'm just going to wake up, go to this random job that pays some other guy a ton of money and me nothing. Right. And I'm going to go home. And that's not a life worth living for me. And to me, the only way that I can have that perspective is because of the decisions that my dad and my uncle and my aunt made. Like, that's what's up. So to me, success is relative, and
I feel that
it's objective, because sure, when most people think success, you're thinking like, who has tons of money around me? But it's really more of like, who's opening doors, who's providing opportunities.
Clay,
right?
That's you, bro.
Yeah, and I can't lie. And when you put it like that, though, Willie, I do got to give my parents that, because they did show me success in that light, because they were the different thinkers of their family, and they went out and wanted more,
Yeah, I mean, your mom got a whole PhD, don't she?
She working on it. She gonna have it like next year.
Your mama's working on a PhD?
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I'm on the truth, man.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you feel me? Beautiful. So it's like seeing that, you're right though, Willie. Success in that, like, yeah.
So I guess to tie that up, I think that it is so important for our generation, like Willie was saying, to really show our kids and show them, like, tell them about people. Tell them about successful people we know, even if, because success, like you said, is subjective. Like they might not have all the money in the world, but they've been successful. And I think it's so important to teach Black kids that.
Right. Most definitely. Definitely.
Especially the way hip hop sounding these days. Y'all niggas do not need to be rappers no more.
Hell no.
Exactly.
It's boo-boo.
Exactly.
It's
Man,
boo-boo.
that was a beautiful entree, y'all.
Yes.
Let's get into this dessert, man. Y'all tell me something sweet. Tell me something. Valentine's Day was yesterday, so I know y'all got something sweet to say. Tell us something.
And
sweet.
I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day, but I definitely celebrate love. And something I was like, man, Black love has just it's swung back around. Like, it's so much Black love up and down my timeline. These proposals, like just these people starting families together, or even just deciding to travel together. I mean, so it's just so beautiful.
I'm gonna cry now.
Love all of this Black love, like even and we went through that. I ain't gonna say I don't never want to say nothing in totality, but I just remember an era of my life, particularly like middle school, high school, college years. It just seemed like the theme was fuck bitches get money. And now it just seemed like it's okay to be fucking in love and to love your woman, to love your man. It's just, I love it.
Yes.
It is okay now. I guess we
what I mean? Culturally,
we're in that rapper generation where everything was, don't love nobody.
That used to be my favorite meme.
Disregard females, acquire currency.
Right. Nah, man. It's get your female, y'all acquire that currency together. You smell me. Beautiful. Now I feel you. Like I had a beautiful evening yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
What y'all did?
Man, we got some reservation to this Indian spot. That shit was dope as a fuck. It was really good. They had some good food in there. I took some pictures as much as I could because it was really dark and intimate in there, but it was dope. Then we went to the movies to go see the Black Messiah. So it was good actually going to movie theater again. I missed it. I missed the big screen. Oh my God.
They open out there?
Good. Yeah, man. The movie theater's open out here, man, in Atlanta.
Corona don't exist in Atlanta. Come on, Willie.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't. But
I know, right?
But we were still safe, mask, social distance, and stuff like that. But it was just good to experience that again. And we came home and I busted her in Dragon Ball Z. So, I took no prisoners on that. For those who don't know, Dragon Ball Z is a fighting game, Yeah, I busted her ass in that. But
you're making a sex reference. I was so confused.
I thought he said I went home and busted her. I was like, but I thought he said, damn, my nigga.
All right.
Trelani, both of our faces were just
no, busted Dragon Ball Z, man. We was playing on the PS4, man. Y'all is funny, man. Y'all is funny.
I was like, we loose on this show.
Boy, y'all is funny.
I love the transparency.
Oh my gosh. What about y'all, man? God damn. Sheridan, Willie, what's up with y'all? Tell us something sweet, man. How did y'all's go?
So mine's valid. Oh, Willie, you go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, mine was pretty chill. We went to do this. It's called Mods, which is the Museum of Dream Space. Basically, just one big old museum full of picturesque rooms, different themes. You can like do photos and chill and see stuff, and it's chill. And then but we didn't go to it because the line was wrapped around the block. Even though we had reservations, they're like, "There's just so many people here. We're not doing reservations. It's just first come, first serve." So we was like, "Screw it." We walked down Hollywood Boulevard, chill, partake a little bit, and then we went to Burbank to this place called Castaway, and it overlooks the entire city. You can see everything. It was super nice. It was a little cold, but it was good. It was good.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So what's up, Sheridan?
What about you, Cher?
So my Valentine's Day, it was sweet. I worked all day. Like I went to work at 12:30 and then didn't get home till I don't even know whatever time I texted y'all when I got home. So I was kind of disappointed, but I came home. EJ had cooked me dinner. He had got me a bottle of wine, my favorite wine, got me the sweetest card and some chocolate.
Nice.
And then he just rubbed my back and we fell asleep. So it's like when I think about our first Valentine's Day together, it was like a big thing. But now it's just like just the simplest, sweetest things. I don't know. That was perfect. So I was like,
right.
And then we got reservations tonight because I'm off today.
That is beautiful.
Yay. And it ain't gonna be no line. It ain't gonna be packed in there.
Exactly.
Nope.
That is beautiful, y'all. Oh my God.
Very low stress. Very lovely. And I just wanted to say to you guys that for the first time in the last couple of weeks, I have felt like myself. When we first started this podcast, I was so deep in the depths of depression and mental illness that it wasn't even funny. Like shit was bad, but I still did this. And y'all know how hard I struggled in the beginning to do this, but it was truly because I was going through a mental health crisis. And I just wanted to say that for the viewers, because it is okay for you to say that I am not okay, you know? And it was hard, but I still did this because I love you guys. And this is something that I knew I wanted to do. And when I came out of my depression, I would appreciate it. Yeah. And I just feel so good. I just feel like myself and doing all the things that I love. And that's the hardest part of depression. It strips you of everything you love.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's draining. So I'm just happy to be back and feeling good and being with you guys.
Thank you for sharing.
Something else I just noticed real quick when you were talking, Sheridan, for some reason, I was like, most podcasts or talk shows, they had one woman. Like, I was like, oh, we got two. It's like it's
equal. Yeah, we're not about the novelty here. We keep it real, you know.
Yeah,
straight like that.
So what about you, Trelani?
Oh, well, we're long distancing, so I'm in New Orleans. He's in Savannah, so we didn't do anything per se. But we, like I said, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day anyway. But something that I think really beautiful that did happen. It didn't happen on Valentine's Day, but I think it was about 2 days prior. We had actually had our because we've been together for like a little over a year, but we had our first disagreement, like, you know what I'm saying? And I it's this narrative that go around and say, like, don't go to sleep mad at each other. And I believed it, and I didn't realize I was believing it. And so when we got into it, it was like late. I mean, and it's not yelling and fussing. Like, I really don't do that. I was married for I was with my ex-husband for over 10 years. Rarely did we yell, and no, we didn't do that. I don't do that. So it wasn't that kind of ordeal. It was just like, yo, like, I'm mad, and I'm mad. And he was upset, but he was like, good night. And I'm like, no, we're going to talk about this. We need to talk about this tonight, because in my head, I did not want to go to sleep that way. For one, I'm like, I'm not going to sleep well if we do. Like, we need to talk about this. But he's like, nah, good night. So anyways, the next morning we woke up and we talked about it. And, in that space, we were able to do so with more logic than emotion. Right. And it was just so beautiful. And I fell all back in love, or rather I stood up in love with him again, as Toni Morrison would say, because I just realized, like, he's never, ever, ever talked down to me, like just treated me bad in action or in words, period. And like in that experience showed me, like, even when, that we ain't getting along, like, you can still respect me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and that was beautiful. And I just want to applaud men that do that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. He passed the test,
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and you don't have to sacrifice and be like, well, because if you got a guy to do that, and he probably know my man make good money and he's sexy as fuck and he treat me good.
So, and you say it's been a year and y'all got into y'all first disagreement?
Mm-hmm.
God,
that's amazing.
But like I said, like, that's how it is. Even with my ex, like, I just don't really get into disagreements, like, because I'm really good at, you see it your way, I see it because I'm very solution oriented. I'm just like, all right, how do you feel about it? This is how I feel about it. Okay, what did you learn from that? Here's what I learned. I'm just always like, let's get there, because I'm not about going in circles and talking about the same shit over and over and fussing. It's like, what are we going to do about this? All right, let's do that and we done. But
I love that.
Yeah, so that was beautiful. And I was like, oh, I love you. So like I said, that was like a few days before Valentine's Day, but still, I was like, I just love him so much more.
That's beautiful, because it shows you, like, even when things aren't too hot, like, he's still gonna be the same person that you fell in love with.
So what's up with Mardi Gras?
That shit canceled, man. That was a blow. So yeah, so, and it's weird because, like, Mardi Gras, like I said, it's a big thing here. It's not a one-day thing here. Like, we parade for 2 weeks straight. Like, you know, and so the parades would have been started. That's not here. And we got our little ways that we tweaking it and trying to do a little different. Like they got Yardy Gras where people decorating their porches. So you got that. And they got like a little app you can download to find where most of the houses are that's decorated. But then they also had like a little thing at the park. I didn't really do none of that. It's just like, so I'm just doing my own thing. I am enjoying though, because like our mayor, you know, I've been calling her Auntie. Like Auntie ain't playing. Like she could shut down. She blocked off Bourbon Street. Like she shut down all the bars and the restaurants in the French Quarter. So like, don't come down here. There ain't nothing down here. But because ain't nobody, like we're used to like millions of people from all over the world coming to New Orleans during that time. So I like stay the fuck away. But on top of COVID and like, you know, our city being shut down as a result of COVID, it's like we got the city to ourselves again. So it's just been so beautiful and fulfilling to just fall in love with New Orleans, like the itty bitty, finding itty bitty things to just fall in love with the city again. So I've been really enjoying that.
Nice. And y'all got some nice parks and stuff out there too.
We got some beautiful parks, and like in so many, like in all of our parks have like waterways and you can rent canoes and shit, and just it's amazing. It's so beautiful. Our museums got them to ourselves again. I love it.
And I can't wait till we shoot there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, right?
Man, I ain't been there yet. So when we shoot there, that's probably gonna be my first time going.
No, that'd be beautiful.
We have to do a month though. If you've never been, we got to do like a month type thing. Like just go to New Orleans. I'll put it in the universe. We'll have enough money to be there a month.
Now we'll see about that. I know we're gonna be there at least for a week.
A week is good.
Yeah, it's good. But yo, that was beautiful, man. Let's get people something to take home, man. What we got for them? Dang, boy, y'all usually be like, bam, 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 bam. Y'all was thinking about it. I got you, man. I got y'all. I don't got y'all.
Don't be afraid to do things your way, you know, the same way. Like, you know, I'm okay with not doing Valentine's Day. Like it don't, I am not a fan of Christmas, Valentine's Day. And I don't knock nobody for doing it all. It just really don't do nothing for me, even in the past when I did it, you know, but it's like, so I did that my way. You know, I'm learning even in this relationship, you know, to do things my way. Like sometimes when I'm not feeling well, I just might say like, I don't want to talk on the phone today. Like, you know, I'm going through some stuff. I just want to be by myself. I just love, I hear cut in and be like, all right, I'm cool with that. I respect that, but I need to talk to my woman at least once a day. I need to at least hit you up, talk to you on the phone, make sure you're good. I'll hang up, cool. But you know, so reestablishing boundaries and what boundaries look like, and just being open to defining that for yourself. I think it's important, you know, not just going with the status quo, what's taught to us, the narrative, you know, define it for yourself.
That's real right there. That's real right there. Anybody got anything else they want to add?
Mental health, guys.
There we go.
Do whatever the fuck it is you need to do for your mental health. Okay. Yeah. I actually, part of what I did to get myself back to normal, I've been off social media since December.
That's so important. Can I ask a question, Sheridan? Sure. So you said that like you were deep off in depression when we first started this podcast, but you were still showing up. What dictates for you when to show up and when to give yourself permission to fall the fuck back?
I don't. That's the thing. That's what I'm learning to do, because I keep going to the point, even when I'm just not feeling well, I'll keep going to the point until my body, like the day that I just didn't show up for the podcast, I just didn't wake up. My body literally was like, bitch, sit the fuck down.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm still learning what I need to do for myself. But when you, like, I figured out social media was one of those things. So when you figure out that there's something that you need to do for your mental health, do it, go for it, and just know that things will be okay. They may not be okay right now, but they will be eventually.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank the listeners. I appreciate, again, I say it every episode, I love y'all, and I appreciate doing this podcast with y'all. Y'all are amazing. All three of you. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the listeners because they've been showing out. And make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on all the platforms in which you listen to podcasts on. And follow the Phat Vegan TV page and continue to show love, continue to show support. We will continue to keep cranking this great content out, giving you a feast full of food for thought. This has been the kitchen table. And until next time, peace.
Peace.